everyone. This is Keith, W5IU, your amateur radio moderator for today. Through the help of amateur radio volunteers and the crew on the ISS, we hope to soon establish ham radio contact with the International Space Station as it flies more than 200 miles above the Earth over Argentina. This is all accomplished with ERAS, amateur radio on the International Space Station. The ISS currently is flying over the Pacific Ocean, whizzing along at around 17,500 miles an hour, just off the coast of South America. This contact will be performed using the amateur radio telebridge network. That's a worldwide network of amateur radio ground stations that enable students to contact the ISS. ERAS is a consortium of ham radio volunteers from 9 nations that develop and operate the amateur radio station on the International Space Station. Some members of ERAS are the American Radio Relay League, the Worldwide AMSAT Amateur Satellite Corporations, CSA, ESA, AAXA, NASA, and Roscosmos, and the amateur radio ground station that will establish contact with the ISS today is LU8YY in Neuquén, Argentina, operated by Luis Lunas, and Daniel is with him today. LU5YBR. Thanks for helping us out, Louis. We now have about 4 minutes, or a little under 4 minutes to contact time. Our contact for today is with the Da Vinci Discovery Center, and the ham radio contact coordinator for the school is Tom Daniel, N3CXP. Tom, can you give us a few words about the school and the students taking part today?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can, Keith. We're here at the Vinci Science Center, and we're in the middle of their summer camp, and they have various programs here this week on space and space science, and we're in an auditorium with about 100 people somewhere in that vicinity, and we have 20 campers here anxious to make contact, and we're also watching the tracking as we speak, and we can see Lewis's station, and we know that the footprint of the International Space Station is getting pretty close.
Okay.
I'm just going to have the boys and girls here to start lining up here near the telephone handset if we could, because we don't want to waste any time.
Okay. Well, we're getting about ready for that, and I'm going to give the mic quickly to Daniel, and we're getting, well, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your station, but we're just about ready to start the call.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Daniel. I'm going to fight Yankee Bravo Radio for today's contact. We use a special antenna system, a directional high-gain antenna. We'll be pointing all the time to the ISS when the station is over our location. The system that permits its operation is computer-guided, so automatically follows the ISS without our operation. We will operate an ICOM DSS with 100 watts of radio frequency power. Few seconds before the ISS rise, we will call November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, the time of the ISS, and when the astronaut answers, we turn the contact and let you ask the question. Well, that's all from here. Luis and I wish you luck.
Okay, and go ahead and start the calling. It's just about time, I believe.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, we need you to be very quiet.
Q, November Alpha 1, Sierra Sierra, VCC Lima, Unicorn 8, Yankee. Calling November Alpha 1, Sierra Sierra, over. CQ, November Alpha 1, Sierra Sierra, CQ, November Alpha 1, Sierra Sierra, VCC Lima, Unicorn 8, Yankee. Calling November Alpha 1, Sierra Sierra, over. TQ, TQ1, November Taiwan, Sierra Sierra. TQ, TQ1, November Taiwan, Sierra Sierra. DSC Lima Unitor 8, Yankee Yankee. Tony, November Taiwan, Sierra Sierra. Over. Okay, good morning, Roger. As we stand on the phone button, so you can speak with the student. Good luck, over.
I'm 7 years old, and how do they build a space satellite? Over.
Hi, I think you mentioned it was Stephanie, I can't remember, but the build a space satellite is sort of like putting together a jigsaw puzzle, when you have a whole bunch of pieces that have to come together into one to make one picture, and then you have to first decide how big the table is that you're going to put your puzzle together on. So the engineers have to decide all these parts that have to go inside to work together to create a satellite, whatever the mission of that satellite is, whether it's communication or photography or something like that. That they have to decide how big the satellite's going to be, and then they try to make the parts as small as possible so they're very lightweight, so they can fit on the top of a rocket to launch into space. So it takes a long time and a lot of creative work to design a satellite.
Hi, my name is Sammy. I am 7 years old, and how long does it take to get to the moon? Over.
Hey, that's a great question. That's a great question. It's good to talk to you today. It takes, we're orbiting the Earth, but if we were to go to the moon, it takes about 3 days to get to the moon from the Earth once we escape Earth's gravity. So about 3 days.
Hi, my name is Connor. I'm 7 years old. How hard is it to sleep in space? Over.
Connor, that's a good question. It's actually very easy to sleep in space. Because we don't have any gravity, we can sleep standing up or the ceiling or against the wall. Any place we can find space to chop ourselves down or to go down to the wall, we can sleep. So it's very, very easy to sleep in space. It's very comfortable. Over.
Hi, my name is Andrew. I'm 6 years old, and what is your favorite food to eat in space? Oh.
Hey, Andrew, I think you're asking what's my favorite food, and I think my favorite food, don't tell my mom, but I think my favorite food is M&M's.
Hi, my name is Steven. I am 7 years old. My question is, what is space like, and can you take moon rocks home with you? Over.
Space is really, really beautiful. It's, first of all, we don't have any gravity, so everything's floating around inside the space station. So you have to be very careful. It's kind of fun to float around, but you have to be very careful, too, when everything's floating around, when you're trying to eat food or drink something out of a bag, because everything is floating, and things can get really messy if you're not really careful. So it's a lot of fun working in space and living in space. And I suppose we're not going to the moon. We're orbiting the Earth. But if I went to the moon, I think I would try to bring some moon rocks home with me. Over.
Hi, my name is Brent. I'm 6 years old. Did you see Jupiter and Saturn? Over.
Hi, Brent. That's a good question. Yes, we can see the other planets. We can see Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars, Venus. We can see some of the outer planets as well, and the stars are really, really beautiful. So yes, we can see those other planets. That's a very good question. Over.
Hi, my name is Hudson, and I am 7 years old. How long does it take astronauts to stay up in space at one time? Over.
Question, Hudson, as well. I'm going to stay here for 6 months in space, but I think the longest that a person has stayed in space before was a Russian cosmonaut, stayed for a little over a year in space. And then if you're going to be an astronaut when you grow up, probably the first person to step foot on Mars is probably about your age or somewhere in our schools, in elementary school. And so if we go to Mars, those people, the first people from Mars will probably be in space for 2 or 3 years. And so we're just really starting to try to figure out how long people can stay in space at one time. But I'll be up here for 6 months. I've been here for 2 months already, and I hope to get back home in time for Christmas. Over.
Hi, my name is Minerva. I am 7 years old. What do you feel when you are floating in space surrounded by stars?
Hi, Minerva. I think your question is how do I feel when I'm floating in space? And nothing but the stars, but inside the space station, it's much like working in the laboratory. So when you look out the windows, well, I just did 3 spacewalks. I just did the 3rd spacewalk on Monday, just a couple of days ago. And when you get outside, it feels it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling because you really feel like you're traveling through space. And when you're floating around, and you're floating around in your suit too, it feels really, really wonderful. It's a little bit scary sometimes. And when you're outside, you make sure that you're tethered onto something or hanging onto something so you don't go floating away. But it's a lot of fun. Over.
Hi, my name is Valeria. I'm 7 years old. What do you study to become an astronaut?
Great question, Valeria. What do we study to become an astronaut? I studied engineering. Usually the people that are astronauts, if you want to be an astronaut when you grow up, most people study math or science or engineering or medicine, something like this, something in the area of science. So if you really like science, then that would be a great thing to study to become an astronaut. Over.
My name is Jason Noah. I am 7 years old. My question is, why do you live in space? Over.
I think your question was, how did I decide that I wanted to live in space or on the space station? And it's been a dream of mine since I was your age. I really wanted to be an astronaut.
Okay, sorry, Kyle, the ISS station gone away.
I believe we've lost the ISS. Tom, you want to have them say a goodbye anyway?
Bye, Doug. Have a good journey.
Okay. we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Sorry we didn't get all of the questions asked and answered, but let me go ahead and wrap this up. Ladies and gentlemen, we have shared a moment of history. Amateur radio station LU8YY in Argentina, operated by Louis Lunas, contacted Doug Wheelock, KF5VOC, aboard the International Space Station, talking with students at the Vinci Discovery Center in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And now for the international volunteer team of ERA, including the Radio Amateur Satellite Corporations around the world, the American Radio Relay League, DSA, ESA, JAXA, NASA, and Roscosmos. This is Keith Pugh, amateur radio operator of IU, sending my greetings to all of you. Return 73. Best wishes.